Today, Oklahoma City's historic Film Row, movie stars with Okie roots, Hollywood flower power broker, and a retro movie house for Sooner.
Travel with AAA's Discover Oklahoma.
Hi, and welcome to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lally. We're coming to you tonight from the Sooner Theater in Norman, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But I do have to tell you how excited I am to be guest co-hosting this particular show with you, because we're going to talk about the movie business. And as you well know, I love talking about movies.
The movie business has been your business all these years. I mean, show business is your bag, baby.
That's right, and the bag has been heavy sometimes to carry over the years. But now this show, we're going to talk about the Oklahoma Film Connection.
You know, there's several blocks along Sheridan Avenue in downtown Oklahoma City that for years served the movie business. The studios provided everything anybody needed to run a movie house. Hollywood
studios like 20th Century Fox, MGM, Paramount all had screening rooms there so that the theater owners could preview the films.
We thought, since there's such a renaissance in that area going on, it might be a good idea to send our filmmaker, Adam Beatty, down to check it out. And so, lights, camera, action, Oklahomies.
What's up, Oklahomies? Today we are in downtown Oklahoma City in historic Film Row, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Bradley Wynn about his brand new book, Images of America, the Oklahoma City Film Row.
I've heard a lot of rumors about Film Row, you know, what happened here and what people, you know, were doing here and what actually happened in this space. Can you shed some light on, you know, the actual day-to-day of what was going on in Film Row back in its heyday?
Well, in Film Row, this was an exchange hub. This is where all theater owners would come to get their films that they would show in their theaters. The Film Row here developed out of building code changes because the nitrate film at that time was very flammable. And so Oklahoma City wanted buildings that were built that were fireproof, had fireproof film vaults film could be stored into. And so that's where this Film Row came from. Out of those 37 film rows, this is the only one left standing intact and with its history, because when we found the area, there was still a business here from 1930. And she had all this wonderful history and artifacts of the time, and that's how we were able to tell the story.
So this is the only film road that has been consistently doing something since the 20s or 30s?
Yes.
Nice.
And what's really interesting about it is we also have a production company here now. So now instead of distributing film, we're making it.
Nice, wonderful, and that's always a wonderful thing I like to hear in Oklahoma, making movies here.
This is the former MGM building. This is kind of like the McDonald's of its day as far as design. This is the cookie cutter structure, and it was used in all the other cities as well. As far as I know, there's only a few of them still standing, this being one of them. This is the former Paramount Pictures building. It was occupied by Paramount Pictures starting in the early 1930s until the mid-1960s. In this particular building is where the vision of cable television was born, and eventually did become a reality through Henry Griffin, who created that whole idea. First installation was in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I saw that in the book. It was the birthplace of televideo.
It was, and unfortunately Henry and his entire family were killed in a plane crash shortly after that. Had he lived, who knows where telecommunications may be today.
Wow.
One of my favorite things about the area that we envisioned early on was, of course, a motif like this. We wanted to really celebrate the area and the legacy of the area, and I never really saw this as a reality because it was never put anywhere else in the city. This is the first time something like this was ever done with color concrete design in the city.
It's awesome.
And we really have a lot of fun with it. And walking across these film strips makes me wonder what will play out through time here in the area.
Yeah.
For more information on the Film District, just go to our discoveroklahomatv.com.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, we're coming to you from the Sooner Theater in Norman, and tonight we're going to focus our camera on the business of movies.
You know, Hollywood, swimming pools, and movie stars. You've interviewed just about anybody who is anybody in the Hollywood business. Who are some of your favorites?
Well, Tom Hanks, Sandra Bullock, Robin Williams was always a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
And I recently talked to some Oklahomans who are in the film business. Now, one has already established himself. One is just, I think, on the verge of big Hollywood stardom. And the other one, he's rather young, but he's going to take Hollywood by storm. Born and raised in Stillwater, Marsden attended Oklahoma State University but dropped out to move to Los Angeles and pursue his acting career. Along the way, he's done some modeling, and his acting career is now in full gear. He's very well known for his part as Cyclops in X-Men, but in recent years, he has continued to expand his range with romantic comedies. But Stillwater, Oklahoma will always remain his home.
You know, I don't get a chance to come back as often as I'd like. I wish I could come home, monthly. But right now, about maybe two or three times out of the year, which I feel really grateful for. But when I'm home, I'm home. I just want to see my family and see my friends that I grew up with. So I don't get out much when I'm there, other than just to go see my grandparents and like I said, all my family. So it's a chance for me to sort of decompress and relax and be with family. So I wish I could get there more often though.
Olivia Munn was born in Oklahoma City. Now, they moved around a lot when she was a child because her father was in the military. But she's now an actress, a model, and a TV host. Now, interviewing her is fast-paced fun. She has a rapid-fire sense of humor. But she also told me she's in Oklahoma City quite a bit.
My family lives there. My sister, my niece, my brother, my mom. Everyone lives there. I go back, but whenever I come home, I just kind of hole up and stay at my mom's house. However, this year, I've just started working with the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma and working with them and helping them in the cause to help stop the hunger in our state.
Olivia graduated from the University of Oklahoma, and occasionally you can find her on the sidelines during football season. She told me she runs into a lot of people in LA who are from Texas, but they refer to the game as Texas OU, and she said that's just not how you say it.
But even taking away all of our passion for it, the fact that it's Texas OU, OU Texas sounds better. You start with a vowel, you end with a consonant. That just sounds better. I'm gonna win the debate with grammar.
This next young man is Mason Cook. Now, at the age of 11, he's already a seasoned veteran of the small screen. Now, he made his acting debut in 2009, and that was on Grey's Anatomy. The first theatrical film, though, in which he appeared was the last Spy Kids movie, and it was called Spy Kids: All the Time in the World. Mason said he had a blast doing his first movie and hopes to do many more. And when I interviewed him for the movie, he jumped right in and wanted to say hi to all his Oklahoma relatives.
And I just have to do a shout out to all my family, my grandparents and my other cousins who live there. Hi, Bo, my other cousin, and hello, Mimi and Doa, and Uma, Mimi and Doa's dog.
Don't leave out anyone.
Yes, I can't leave out anyone.
We are here at the Warren Theater in Moore, specifically the Director's Suites. And by the way, on February the 24th, they're going to be opening their new IMAX theater. And it's going to be the largest digital screen in the world at 4,000 square feet. And speaking of all things big and large in Oklahoma, I think one of the biggest celebrities in Oklahoma is Kevin Durant with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now he's in a movie. And you'll see my interview with him coming up in the near future, so you need to watch for that. All right, put down that remote, because when we come back, we'll be talking about an Oklahoman who's doing very well in Hollywood.
Joe Wagner finds an Oklahoma connection at the Golden Globe.
I hope we didn't forget anything.
I think we're all set.
Hard to believe Megan is in college.
Do you remember how she cried and cried when we dropped her off at kindergarten?
We were both crying.
Good thing we're only a few hours away. Last box. You can call us tomorrow.
I will, Daddy.
And one more thing. You're gonna need these.
No way. Are you kidding? Can I get Mom's car?
Okay, sweetheart, but you have to be careful. Now, I put the AAA insurance policy and the membership information in the glove box.
Just in case anything should happen.
Okay.
I'm really glad we switched our auto insurance to AAA. Really saved us some money. Not to mention peace of mind.
It's nice knowing AAA will be there if her car ever breaks down, too.
John, are those tears I see?
No.
AAA Auto Insurance, for the ones that matter most to you. Give us a call today or talk to a AAA agent nearest you.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. This week we have our Hollywood on.
Now we're talking moving pictures, the whole thing, and we're also talking about red carpets.
Red carpets. Speaking of red carpets, our Shel Wagner found an Oklahoman who was kind of making a big splash at the Golden Globe.
And her talent, by the way, has nothing to do with acting. Take a look.
Jenny Jaffick-Jones denies having any special artistic talents.
No, I'm not a crafter. I'm not, no. Not at all. I can't draw a straight line. I don't paint, any of that sort of thing.
She insists it was mere thriftiness that led her down this unexpected garden path.
When I remarried about 2.5 years ago, I thought, I'll save some money and I'll arrange the flowers myself. And I've never done this before, but that's what the internet is surely going to have, some sort of a guide. I can figure this out.
Jenny discovered origami and folded and creased paper for months leading up to her wedding.
And they were very whimsical, very cute, and I got in my head, I really wish these looked real. There's got to be a way to do it. And my grandmother finally mentioned that in the 20s, she remembered her mother and sister making paper flowers for Memorial Day. And so it gave me a time frame. I found some old books and some Victorian books that had patterns and instructions. And some were great and some were not so great, but it gave me a start to how the paper works. And then I started taking apart fresh flowers, and eventually they started looking real, and now there's about 100 different varieties that get figured out.
Then somebody asked her about making a wedding bouquet, and she'd never done that before, but she was willing to try.
And when I posted pictures of the finished bouquet on Twitter and online, Brides Magazine, a research editor picked it up. And that turned into, 6 months later, being in Brides Magazine. And business just almost immediately, it was almost as soon as somebody saw a picture of a wedding bouquet, they started getting requests for them.
Lots of requests. In fact, Jenny has shipped her custom bouquets to brides all over the country and around the world, to Australia, China, and now to Hollywood. A bridal show in Los Angeles led to an invitation for Jenny's blooms to be included in the Celebrity Gift Lounge at the Golden Globes. And her flowers will stand toe to stem with Hollywood A-listers at the Academy Awards as well. But just because she has become florist to the stars doesn't mean Jenny can't take care of your special occasion.
It's a lot like calling your local florist. You can call or email me and say, my wife likes roses and I know she likes pink and our anniversary is coming and I want to spend X dollars, and let me take care of it.
Recreating the intricate details of nature in paper is not an easy or quick prospect. So in the spirit of growing her garden, in spite of time constraints, Jenny created do-it-yourself kits. My girls were easily engaged with making the Peony Favor boxes from one of Jenny's beginner-level kits. Browse the Crimson Poppy website to find a kit for making party favors like these, or your favorite flowers.
Do-it-yourself kits come with photo-illustrated instructions and patterns and all the paper and glue and wire and everything you need. Literally, even into the clips to, put your paper together to cut it. You just need a pair of scissors.
At the Crimson Poppy Studios in Stillwater, I'm Shel Wagner.
A Star is Born, Jenny's beautiful flowers, will also be featured at this year's Academy Awards. For more information on her beautiful creations or to order your own kit, just go to discoveroklahomatv.com.
For traveling all around our great state in search of all the destinations featured in Discover Oklahoma, you're going to need a vehicle that gets you there in style, and that's where your Oklahoma Ford dealers come in.
It's Ford Truck Month, and Jim here just got a great deal on a brand new Ford F-150 with EcoBoost engine technology. Gives him the fuel economy of a V6, all the power of a V8. Chevy and Dodge can't do that. Jim says that's how you get the job done, even on his day off. And that's life in the Stampede. Now, get up to $6,500 total savings on F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. It's Truck Month at your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
Hey, Oklahoma Today magazine's been doing some digging into the long-standing relationship between Oklahoma and Hollywood, and we're going to talk about that when we come back.
That's right, and we're also going to take you behind the curtain, so to speak, to Norman's historic Sooner Theater. See how this iconic theater continues to make memories when AAA's Discover Oklahoma continues.
Hey, how's Kara doing?
Great. Absolutely loves being in college.
Sam?
Just started driving.
Watch out.
Yeah, we just added him to our AAA membership. Smart move.
I'm just glad we have good insurance.
Who do you guys use?
We switched over to AAA auto insurance. With another driver in the house, it just made sense to check out pricing. AAA saved us a ton.
I didn't know they had insurance too.
Yeah, auto, home, and life.
Remember that time when we snuck Dad's car out and got that flat?
Here they go again.
Well, AAA came and fixed it, and the folks never found out.
Found out what?
Nothing, Dad.
Talking about the time you two snuck the car out while we were gone.
You knew?
Well, of course. Why do you think Mom and I added you girls to our AAA membership? Never told you I always check the odometer, did I?
Oh, great idea.
Thanks, Grandpa.
AAA Insurance, for the ones that matter most to you. Give us a call today or talk to a AAA agent nearest you.
Welcome back to AAA's Discover Oklahoma. If you are craving really the in-depth scoop on Oklahoma's movie connection,
then you need to get the latest issue of Oklahoma Today magazine. Oklahoma Today's January-February issue takes you behind the camera and onto the movie set, to the soundstage of Oklahoma's burgeoning film industry. And what's film without a festival? We've got them from dead center to bare bones. You'll find your favorite Okie who's made that long walk of fame to Hollywood. Then read about Oklahoma's very own superstar, Oklahoma Today's 2011 Oklahoman of the Year, Mary Beth Babcock, a true one-woman show. You'll find all this and so much more in the January-February issue of Oklahoma Today. Get your copy online at oklahomatoday.com and at select bookstores around the state. Oklahoma Today, the magazine of Oklahoma since 1956.
this beautiful theater where we are this week, the Sooner Theater in Norman, is featured in the new issue of Oklahoma Today magazine. And, you know, I hate to sound like my grandmother, but they don't make things like they used to. This is gorgeous.
I love this theater. And these old icons from the past reflect the old showbiz adage that the show must go on.
Located next to the train tracks on Main Street in downtown Norman, the Sooner Theater's been anchoring this growing district since way back in 1929. Originally constructed as a movie theater, it was the first building in the region to have both the luxuries of air conditioning and a water fountain. The theater survived a brief encounter with some local citizens who wanted to knock it down and replace it with office and retail space. The wrecking ball was stopped by a groundswell of local support for the theater that petitioned the city of Norman to purchase it from the original owners. In 2003, Executive Director Jennifer Baker was brought on board along with a new staff, and they began a program to produce their own shows and musicals.
We do 4 main stage productions, and we do 4 children's productions in this space. And then we have a studio down the street, which houses all our classes and camps. And we actually had over 730 enrolled last fiscal year. So we utilize both spaces. And, but then larger children's productions we do right here. We're getting ready for the production Good News.
Jennifer and her staff are diligent stewards of this beautiful historic place, a genuine treasure trove of gorgeous details that you and your family are really going to want to see in person.
One thing that I love about this building is if you look up to the ceiling and you'll see the little Spanish coats of arms. They're little shields at the top of the ceiling. And the architect's father hand-painted 252 Spanish coats of arms. And the whole theater was decorated and designed in a Spanish Gothic flavor. So I just love looking up at those shields.
The city of Norman most recently replaced the curtains and the carpet to match all the original woodwork that can still be found throughout the theater. While it may feel as if it resides in the past, Jennifer and her staff are making sure the future will be bright for Sooner Theater. For more information on the Sooner Theater and upcoming performances, you can just go to our website, discoveroklahomatv.com.
All right, now you barely have enough time to go get some popcorn, something to drink, get back and get comfortable, because when we do come back, oh brothers, where art thou?
Dino finds brothers and Altus making their own movies, so stay tuned. AAA's Discover Oklahoma will be back in just 2 short minutes.
Discover Oklahoma is looking for the best places to watch a Thunder game. If you don't happen to have tickets to watch the game courtside, where is the next best venue for thundering up? Post your favorite Thunder watching destinations on the Discover Oklahoma Facebook page, and we'll feature some of your suggestions in an upcoming episode.
Thanks for all your help.
Hey babe, what you doing?
Oh, I just switched our insurance over to AAA.
Why? We've been with our guys for years.
I know, but I met with the agent and she showed me how AAA could match our coverage and save us money by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Really? Well, did we get a discount? I mean, we've been with those guys for years.
Yes, and with the extra money we saved, I was thinking we could take that second honeymoon we've always talked about.
Hey, I am all about that.
So, with all the travel discounts we get for being AAA Oklahoma members.
Well, I do have some vacation time I need to take.
Oh, good, because our room is right on the ocean.
You already booked it.
I did?
What are you guys up to?
Nothing. We're just getting some dinner started.
When are you leaving?
AAA Insurance, for the ones that matter most to you. Give us a call today or talk to a AAA agent nearest you.
Welcome back. AAA Oklahoma makes this show possible and does a lot of other great things around our state. Here's a look at today's AAA.
Hello, Chuck May here with AAA Oklahoma. If you're like me, you'll agree that Oklahoma is a great place to live. But I'll bet you would also agree that we receive our fair share of extreme weather. Often this weather can cause damage to your home. Many insurance companies in Oklahoma have established limitations to their homeowners' policies, particularly for wind and hail, that are important for customers to understand. Our AAA insurance agents are available in 41 offices statewide to review your current homeowner's policy with you. Call an agent today to get a free quote and policy review on your home insurance. Whether it's a thunderstorm, hail, tornado, fire, or theft, get the security you desire with homeowners insurance from AAA. Until next time, may the road lead you to exciting new discoveries. Whether it's insurance, travel, or peace of mind on the road, think AAA every day.
AAA for the ones who matter most to you. We're talking about the movie industry this week, and when did the show business bug really bite you?
It was early on growing up in McAlester. I went to a lot of movies at the Oakland Theater in McAlester, and a few years back I became friends with two brothers from Altus, and guess what? The very same bug bit them. In the film industry, particularly in recent years, there are some famous brother filmmaking teams. You have the Wachowski brothers, you have the Coen brothers. Well, who's the next generation of filmmakers who happen to be brothers? How about the Greenlee brothers from Altus? And Todd and Alex Greenlee are already award-winning filmmakers. Having won at the Trail Dance Film Festival 2 years in a row, these young men are now studying filmmaking at the University of Oklahoma. When you talk with these two very talented young men, their passion for what they do comes across strongly. Seriously, how many kids this age even know who the names of filmmakers are, such as Kubrick, Lynch, or better yet, Fellini?
The thing I like about movie making, like other art forms, you're kind of limited, and film is like combining everything, and you can create your own little world, and it's pretty much combining music, video, and you can also coloring and all that, so it's combining every art form, and I like that. So.
And I really like just entertaining people, you know, just having people understand, you know, your art form. I think that's really the best reward you can get, any filmmaker can get, is when you hear applause.
And that applause and support come from people all over, starting of course with their parents, who have always encouraged their sons in many ways, for example, letting them take over an office in the house. Mrs. Greenlee says they first noticed their sons were visually talented around the 2nd or 3rd grade, and that interest just continued to grow.
Of course, they've gone to the Oklahoma Summer Arts Institute, and once they began going there, probably around the age of 14, their passion just grew from there.
And their dad is always there to lend a hand as well.
They're working on a set right now that they needed a location. We were able to use some contacts and find a place for them.
That location for their new film called Missing Silverware is an abandoned nursing home in Altus. It's doubling as an insane asylum. Filmmaking in its most simplistic form is constant problem solving, and these two young men are always creative in their solutions. When the Greenlee brothers are making a movie here in the Altus area and they need props, this is where they come to. It's called the 3 R's. It's an antique shop, and they have everything here, including the kitchen sink. The store is owned by the boys' former art teacher, and she shows her support by letting them pick whatever props they need. Filmmaking, by the way, is also a collaborative medium.
I mean, I mostly do editing, and he mostly does writing and stuff, but I mean, we meet, there's a middle point that we both work on, so. Like, if I have an idea for a shot, we'll try that out, and if he has an idea, we'll try that out. When we argue, we don't really, you know, fight or anything. It's kind of like a nitpick.
And nitpicking is part of that creative process, one that they study by watching older films as much as current ones. And they continue to learn from what they see and realize that the story is what matters and not so much special effects.
We try not to do any CGI, and sometimes it looks better, like most of the time it looks better than if you would have just done computer. And it's a lot bigger challenge, and we like that.
I just think it's like creating your own little world. And I think that's...
And it's a world in which the Greenlee brothers will always remain focused. In Altus, I'm Dean O'Lally.
That's our show this week. We're glad you came along, and a big thanks to the folks here at the Sooner Theater in Norman for hosting it.
And we certainly want to thank you for watching.
Next week, start planning your spring break. Try a staycation in Bartlesville.
And taking a dude's night out at an Oklahoma City Barons game.
How about a getaway to Beavers Bend State Park?
All right, the show's almost over. I have to ask, want to go catch a movie?
Only if you're buying the popcorn, Mr. Hollywood.
Oh, okay, I can do that. And so until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma.